Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is the story about what if Naruto was Tobirama's grandson and had ice release. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So without any further ado, let's start the what if. The Shinobi Academy. As Team 10 entered the academy, and are now heading to room 301, they immediately reached the second floor. But when they arrived, they saw a huge crowd of genins, just standing outside a guarded room labeled 301. But oddly enough, they were still on the second floor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 301 means it's on the third floor, right? Ino asked her two teammates. Right. This must be some sort of test, to weed out some idiots. If a Chunin candidate can't spot a simple genjutsu like that one, it proves that they are not yet ready to be in this exam. Naruto pointed out, despite sounding a little harsh, it's supposedly true. I don't think this has anything to do with being a Chunin. I think they are just testing if we have any common sense. Shikamaru stated with a sweat drop, that so many experienced genins couldn't see through a simple illusion. Well, I'm just surprised that many of them are falling for this crap. Come on, let's just slip past the crowd and head to the next staircase. Ino suggested, as she, Naruto, and Shikamaru walked through the crowd of confused genins. As they walk, Naruto saw a genin in green spandex being knocked down by one of the two would-be Guer. Wait a minute, isn't that Kotetsu-san and Izumo-san? Yikes, not to criticize them or anything, but they really need to work on their transformation. They just look like younger versions of themselves. Naruto thought with a sweat drop, for his two favorite gatekeepers. The young Kotetsu and Izumo were smirking after they knocked down the boy in green, while his female teammate was trying to help him up. You're taking the Chunin exams, but you can't even get past US. The young Izumo mocked, as he smirks. Why don't you just give up now, before you get hurt? The young Kotetsu added in. Yeah, I think I heard your mommy calling you. The young Izumo finished, with the smirk never leaving his face. Naruto honestly wanted to laugh at the theatrics. The Eternal Guards are actually good actors, who would have thought? But then again, they are Chunins for a reason. But the mommy thing is kinda a step too far. As the blonde Senju was going on his merry way with his team, he heard a very familiar voice that he hadn't heard for a long time. Please let us through, we are supposed to go in there. The boy in green's female teammate tried to reason, as she stood up and approached the supposed room 301. But when Izumo was about to punch the girl's face to stop her from entering, Naruto instantly vanished in a blur of speed, and he snaked his way through the crowd of people, and catches Izumo's fist. The whole room was instantly silent. They were completely shocked by the level of speed from the blonde. He basically came out of nowhere. Izumo's eyes widened when he recognizes the blonde speedster, worried that he might blow his cover. The girl on the other was both confused and flustered. For some reason, the blonde looked surprisingly very familiar. I may be new at this, but isn't it forbidden to attack a fellow shinobi before the exam starts? Naruto stated with a cold tone that sends shivers down everyone's spine. Shit! It's Naruto! Don't tell me, he recognized us already? Is he gonna blow our cover? Kotetsu thought, internally sweating bullets. Luckily for them, Naruto then let go of Izumo's fist, and simply walked away without saying another word. Feeling that his work here is done. But not before giving Izumo and Kotetsu a silent smirk, meaning that he had already spotted them instantly. The disguised Eternal Guards were slightly grateful that Naruto didn't blow their cover, and was very impressed with their favorite blonde's detection skills. Maybe betting on him was not a bad thing after all, they thought. They then resumed their jerk genin guard roles, as they block any other candidates from entering the supposed wrong room. As Naruto was making his way to his team, he didn't realize the girl whom he saved was following him. Naruto! The girl called out to the blonde. Naruto immediately stopped walking, and couldn't help but smile, as his hunch on the girl's identity was right. I knew I recognized that voice. Hey, 1010. Naruto turned around, and gave the now identified Tenten his bright smile, which made the girl's cheeks turn slightly red. Tenten has dark brown hair and eyes, and wears her hair in two Chinese-style buns on her head with short fringe bangs framing her face. She wears a pink sleeveless qipao-style blouse with red sleeve trimmings and yellow fastening buttons and dark green pants. A pouch is adjusted to her thigh and her forehead protector and sandals are both blue. Wondering what was taking him so long, Ino and Shikamaru made their way to their sunny blonde teammate. Ino was first to approach him. "Naruto-kun, are you alright?" Ino asked, with concern in her voice. "Yeah, I'm fine, Ino-chan." Naruto answered. "What happened?" "We agreed to not draw attention to ourselves." Ino lightly scolded him with a deadpan look, since it was Naruto's plan to keep a low profile before the exam starts. "I know, I'm sorry. But I couldn't let an old friend get hurt," Naruto said, as he rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Tenten couldn't help but blush that Naruto would risk his cover just to save her. "Thanks, Naruto." Tenten thanked him, while playing with her fingers nervously. Oh no, Ino thought, slightly annoyed that her boyfriend managed to sway another girl. "Ino-chan, Shikamaru, this is my old friend, Tenten. I used to go to her family's weapon shop all the time, when I started my training with Sarutobi-sensei." Naruto then leans closer to Ino and Shikamaru so he could whisper the next part. "It was one of the shops that he recommended that won't kick me out, or overcharged me." Naruto whispered, as they both nodded in understanding. "Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, Tenten." Ino greeted kindly, since the bun-haired girl's family was nice to her Naruto when he was growing up. "Likewise." "So Naruto, you're finally a genin now, huh? And you're taking the Chunin exams. Feels like yesterday, I was teaching you how to throw a kunai and shuriken. How time flies so fast." Tenten said with a smile, as she reminisces at an adoring time, when she taught Naruto everything he needed to know about weapons. And how he would sweetly compliment her every time she hits her target during their practice. "Ha ha ha, well, you were a good teacher," Naruto said, as he praises her skills with weapons. Tenten couldn't help but blush again. How does Naruto keep doing that? But then again, it was hard to take you seriously, with that squeaky voice of yours. Naruto teased with a smirk. "Hey! I don't have a squeaky voice," Tenten yelled out with her high-pitched voice, as her face was turning red from embarrassment. "Whatever you say, Panda," Naruto teased Tenten, with his favorite nickname of her. No, don't start with that again," Tenten said, as she pointed her finger at the blonde. She absolutely hated that name. "What? It's cute, like you," Naruto innocently said with his bright smile, but it made Tenten turn vermilion red, while Ino was pouting in annoyance. "Oh man, not another one. I don't think she's a fangirl, but she's definitely into Naruto-kun. Thank God he is too dense to see it. Oh well, she is his old friend. And if I can make friends with Haku, I can definitely make friends with her," Ino thought as she pouts. As Team 10 and 10-10, I see what I did there, continues to have a pleasant conversation, they suddenly heard Sasuke's voice, and saw him, Hinata and Choji approaching the wrong room that is still guarded by the transformed Kotetsu and Izumo. The Eternal Guards just gave another mocking speech to the crowd of Genins, but apparently the last loyal Uchiha was having none of that. "Real nice speech, now both of you step aside and let us through. And while you're at it, reverse the genjutsu. We can see through your illusion anyway. We're going to the 3rd floor," Sasuke said with pride in his voice. But his actions just made Naruto palm-slapped his forehead. His foolish and prideful friend just ruined the entire purpose of the test. Now they're going to have more competition than before. "So you noticed the genjutsu, huh?" the young Kotetsu said with narrowed eyes. "It's not really that hard. We're still on the 2nd floor," Hinata pointed out. Despite what everyone else thinks, Hinata knew that Sasuke pointed out the genjutsu test on purpose, because he wanted to help Choji boost his confidence. Sasuke wasn't an idiot, even he can tell the true purpose of the genjutsu. But after hearing the mocking speech from the transformed Eternal Guards, Sasuke noticed that Choji was doubting himself even more, believing he wasn't as brave as his two teammates. It was a dumb move on the Uchiha's part, but he did it for his friend and teammate. And judging from the newfound confidence Choji is showing, it seemed to work. Yeah, you're not fooling us. This is obviously a dirty trick, Choji said, with some confidence in his voice. The illusion was then dispelled, revealing the rune's actual number, which is 201. Well, aren't we the smart ones? So you guys noticed an illusion. Now let's see you deal with this. Kotetsu yelled out, as he was about to kick Sasuke for ruining the test. The Uchiha was about to retaliate, until all of a sudden, the same boy in the green spandex swiftly made his way in the middle, and stopped both kicks with ease. Everyone was surprised, even Naruto. Whoa, he's almost as fast as Naruto-kun. Ino thought. That guy must be extremely tough, to stop both kicks like that, Shikamaru thought. He stopped my kick. That's some chakra he's got in his arm. Sasuke thought. The boy in green immediately lets go of both Sasuke's and Kotetsu's leg, as he was then approached by his Hyuga teammate. Kotetsu and Izumo immediately fled the scene, since their task has failed. They're definitely gonna get an earful from Ibiki when this is all over. Hey, what happened to the plan? I thought you were the one who said to keep a low profile, and don't let anyone see our skill level. The Hyuga boy said, as he scolded his spandex-wearing teammate. Naruto, Ino, Shikamaru and Tenten later approached the boy in green, his Hyuga teammate and Team 7. I know, Niji. But I cannot allow such an unyouthful action to pass. The blonde boy earlier was right. It is forbidden to fight before the exams. The boy in green said, as he clutches his fist with passion. Well, it's nice to be heard. Naruto said all of the sudden, getting the attention of Team 7. But Hinata's focus was solely on the Hyuga boy. Niji-san, Hinata said timidly. This caught the now identified Niji's attention, as he immediately narrowed his pale eyes at her. Hinata-sama, Niji said, with venom in his voice. Hearing his tone, made Sasuke clutched his fist at the Hyuga boy. It is good to see you again. Hinata said politely, with a soft smile. But his response was practically a verbal slap in the face to the poor Hyuga girl. With respect, Hinata-sama, you should withdraw from the exam. Fate has decreed that you will fail if I am to enter. You are weak and will stand no chance. You would not want to dishonor the clan any further now, would you? Niji mocked with a smirk. This was now enough to boil Sasuke's blood. And the tipping point was him seeing how upset Hinata looked after Niji said that. He wanted to knock that smug look off the Hyuga boy's face, but he knew that wasn't what Hinata wanted. So instead, he decided to take a page out of Naruto's book. With respect, how about you go fuck yourself? Sasuke said, as he stood protectively in front on Hinata, and confronted her hateful cousin. Step aside, Uchiha scum. This has nothing to do with you. Niji said, as he narrowed his eyes at Sasuke. You insult Hinata, you insult me, fate bitch. Sasuke retaliated, as he imagined himself high-fiving Naruto, since he notices the "oh you got burned" look on the blonde's face. But Niji simply scoffed at the insult. Typical. So even the main house has the protection of the mighty Uchiha. Niji mocked with the same smirk on his face. Sensing the two boys' intentions to beat the living hell out of each other, Naruto immediately swooped in and places himself between them, hopefully to put an end to things before it escalates. He then placed one hand on Sasuke's shoulder, and the other on Niji. Okay boys, let's not fight. I mean we could, but let's save it for the exams. Come on, Sasuke. Naruto said, as he dragged Sasuke away, while the Uchiha was still glaring daggers at the Hyuga boy. Hinata gave Naruto a thankful smile as she, Choji, Ino and Shikamaru followed behind them. Damn dude, that was a wicked burn on that fate bitch thing. You make me proud, Grasshopper, Naruto said with grin, as he patted Sasuke's back. MMH, I could have kicked his ass, Sasuke said as he scoffed. I know, tough guy. But there's a time and place. I just don't want you to get in trouble, Naruto said with a brotherly concern, which did not go unnoticed by the Uchiha. Thanks, Sasuke responded. Don't mention it. As Team 10 and 7 Maid were walking down the hall, they heard someone calling out to them. Wait. Apparently, it was the same boy in green spandex earlier. Everyone turned around, and saw him making his way to Ino. My name is Rock Lee. You are Ino Yamanaka, correct? The now identified Rock Lee introduces himself to the Yamanaka heiress. Yes. Ino politely answered, but was weirded out by the boy's choice in fashion. Green spandex, orange leg warmers, and a soup bowl haircut. This is even worse when Naruto-kun almost bought that kill me neon orange jumpsuit when we went shopping together that one time. Ino thought in horror. But what the boy said next shocked her to her very core. Please be my girlfriend. I vow to protect you with my life. The now identified Rock Lee said, as he gave her a nice guy pose, namely a thumbs up and a toothy smile. Ino could have sworn that she saw his teeth sparkle at the end. Definitely not. Ino answered with a deadpan look. Immediately, all the color in the green spandex wearing boy's world was gone. Why? Lee asked, with a dejected tone. For one thing, I already have a boyfriend, so... Ino tried to explain, but was immediately interrupted by the youthful individual. So you are saying, if you don't have a boyfriend, you would be my girlfriend? Lee yelled out loud, with a burning passion in his eyes. No, that's not what I... Ino once again couldn't finish her sentence. It is settled then. I shall challenge him, for your hand. Lee proudly announced, causing everyone around him to sweat drop. Ino however was fuming, and had giant tick mark on her head. You idiot! I'm not a prize. Ino yelled out, but Lee chose to ignore it, as he was high on youth. So where is this boyfriend? Lee asked, as he looked around the boys around Ino. It could be the Uchiha. Or the boy with the pineapple hair. Or the chubby one. Or... hello there. Naruto said with a bored look. Lee turned around and saw the blonde boy. His eyes widened at the sight of his rival of love. He's so youthful. Woasich, it is you then. Now I shall challenge you, for the right Tobirama-san's boyfriend. Prepare to be defeated. Lee proudly challenged the last Senju of Konoha. Ha! Did you say something? Naruto said with a bored tone, as he hardly paid attention to anything the boy in green said. Somewhere around the academy, a silver-haired man suddenly sneezes, while his purple-haired girlfriend wiped his nose. Apparently, they were busy setting up her banner, for later. JSSSSPPP, curse your cool and hip ways, handsome blonde man. Lee yelled out in sadness, cursing his rival of love. No one could tell if that was an insult or a compliment. Niji and Tenten then approached their depressed teammate and the two rookie teams. The Hyuga boy however, was very intrigued with the blonde Senju. For some reason, he cannot scan him with his Byakugan. Unbeknownst to the Hyuga, Naruto's anti-Dojutsu seal on his right forearm always glowed blue whenever a Dojutsu user is using their eyes on him. It's like a warning signal that alerts Naruto whenever he's being targeted. Naruto notices the glow on his right arm, and couldn't help but smirk that the hateful punk who insulted Hinata would scan him. What satisfies him even more, is the frustrated look on the Hyuga boy's face. Hey, you over there. What's your name? Niji called out to Naruto, as his Byakugan was deactivated. Isn't it a common courtesy to give one's own name, before asking another's? Naruto asked with a slightly cold tone. You're a rookie, aren't you? How old are you, anyway? Neji asked, wanting to get as much information from the mysterious blonde as much as possible. I'm not obliged to answer, Naruto said with a smirk. What's that? Neji angrily asked, as he narrowed his pale eyes at the blonde. Teehee, and here I thought you can't get any more cuter, Naruto. Tenten thought with a blush. If we're done here, we best be going now. See you later, Tenten, Naruto said, as he led his team and Team 7 to the 3rd floor. See ya, Naruto. Tenten said, as she waved goodbye to her childhood friend/crush. Naruto? Neji thought, as he finally learned the blonde boy's first name. As Neji and Lee wonder which family or clan Naruto comes from, their eyes widened when they finally noticed the Senju clan symbol on the blonde's maroon jacket. Naruto of the Senju clan, huh, Neji thought to himself. He then turns his attention to his female teammate. What do you know about him, Tenten? Neji asked, with a serious tone. Oh, not much now. I met him when we were kids. We used to always play together when he came by my family's weapon shop. But when I joined the academy, I never saw him again. Tenten said sadly at the end. She remembered how much she missed seeing his bright smiles. Seeing it again today made her miss him even more. I see. Neji said, wondering what kind of the threat the blonde Senju could pose in the exam. You gonna challenge him? Tenten asked, with a raised eyebrow. Neji simply scoffed as he walked away. It wouldn't matter. Fate has decreed that he will win. As Tenten followed behind Neji, she noticed that Lee has not yet moved from where he was standing. Lee! What are you waiting for? We're supposed to check in. Tenten reminded. I will catch up with you in a minute. You don't need to wait for me. I just want to check something. Lee said, as he walked at the opposite direction. What's that about? Tenten asked her Hyuga teammate. I have no idea, Neji said as he continues walking, followed behind by Tenten. With Team 10 and 7. As both teams were making their way to room 301, Hinata still couldn't help but think about what Neji said to her. It was cruel, but was it true? Was she still too weak? Her mind is plagued with so many negative thoughts that even Naruto could feel it. But her thoughts were calmed when she thought about how Sasuke stood up to Neji for her. While she greatly appreciates what Sasuke did, deep down, she was ashamed that she needed rescuing. She is a kunoichi and a clan heiress, at least for now, since the elders were planning to replace her with her younger sister, Hanabi. But she refuses to give up. That is not what her friends and sensei taught her. And that is definitely not what she wanted for herself. Sasuke-kun? Hinata called out to her crush. Yeah. Sasuke answered. Thank you for defending me. Hinata said, as she gave the Uchiha a beautiful smile that made his cheeks turn slightly red. He immediately turns his face away to hide his blush. He shouldn't talk to you like that, anyway. Sasuke pointed out. It's okay. I understand why Nijinai-san is always so angry with me. Hinata said, as she looked down in sadness. Sasuke immediately understood what she meant, since she is referring to the most horrifying night that has ever happened to her. The night that she was kidnapped by a ninja from Kyomo. And how her uncle, and Niji's father, had to pay the price, when her father killed the kidnapper to save her. Hinata, what happened to your uncle? It's not your fault. Sasuke said in a calming tone, as he boldly reached out and held her hand with his. The Hyuga girl immediately blushed red from the sudden hand-to-hand contact from her crush, and was fighting every being in her body to not faint. I know, but maybe if I was stronger, things would have been different. Hinata said, still slightly dejected, which made Sasuke tighten his hold on her hand. Hinata, you were only a child when that Kyomo ninja tried to kidnap you. Sasuke reasoned. But I am also the Hyuga heiress, because I was weak, Nidaime lost his father. Hinata pointed as she tightens her hold as well, fighting the urge to cry. Hinata! Sasuke honestly didn't know what else to say. Unable to resist overhearing the Dojutsu duo's deep conversation, Naruto knew he needed to say something to help his dear Hyuga friend from her depression. We can't change the past, Hinata. No matter how much we want to. Naruto began, gaining the attention of the duo and everyone else. But we can look to the future. You once told me that your dream is to liberate the branch house from servitude and remove the caged bird seal. Has that dream changed? Naruto asked. No, of course not. Hinata answered instantly. Good. Because as long as you hold true to your dream, you can make it a reality. It may not happen today, and it may not happen tomorrow. But the mistakes of the past are not going anywhere. And it is up to us to make sure it never happens again. We can either dwell on the past and let its demons persecute us for eternity, or fight our way out of it and embrace the inevitability of change in the hope of unfolding a brighter future. Naruto-kun. Hinata whispered under her breath. Your dream is yours, Hinata. Not your father's, not the Hyuga elders, and especially not Niji's. So don't let them change it. And you can always count on us to help. Because we are your family too. And we'll always look out for each other. That is my promise to you. Naruto said with his bright smile, that immediately made Hinata and everyone else to look at him like he was an angel. Naruto-kun. Hinata immediately embraced Naruto in a tight hug. Thank you, she whispered in his ear. Anytime. Naruto replied as he returned the hug. If Sasuke was feeling any sort of jealousy towards Naruto, it's not because of the fact that Hinata is hugging him. It's because of what Naruto can do with just his words. The blonde Senju can truly inspire a person's heart whenever he wants. Sasuke only wished that he could have done that for Hinata. It truly disappointed him that he couldn't. Ino, on the other hand, felt truly blessed to have someone like Naruto. He is literally every girl's dream. Despite his good looks and magnetic charm, he is kind, loving, and wise. And despite his flaws, the Yamanaka girl never felt so in love with the Senju boy than ever. Love? She then realized that she never told Naruto that she loves him before. This thought alone shocked her to her core. How could she not say that to the boy she has been with since she was 5? She cursed herself for her ignorance. She then made a mental note to tell him as soon as possible, preferably during their next intimate moment. However, the touching moment between friends was broken when they heard Lee calling Naruto out from a balcony. Hey you, with the attitude! Lee yelled out, causing everyone to turn their heads to the balcony, where they saw the familiar boy in green. Naruto, Sasuke, Shikamaru and Choji looked confused, as Hinata simply looked curious, while Ino was gasping in shock at the weird-looking boy who offered to be her boyfriend earlier. What do you want? Naruto asked. I want to fight. Right here, right now. Lee said, as he jumped down from the balcony and setting himself in his fighting stance. Naruto raised an eyebrow and sighed in annoyance. Dude, I'm not fighting you over my girlfriend. Naruto stated, with a deadpan look, feeling the boy in green's challenge earlier was ridiculous. So you were listening? Lee stated accusingly, but immediately calmed himself down after. But that is not the reason I am here. But you still want to fight me though, mister. I'm sorry, but I don't think I catch your name, friend, Naruto asked. My name is Rock Lee. And I am no friend of yours. You said it was common courtesy for a challenger to give his own name first, right? Naruto Senju. Lee said as he pointed at Naruto. I meant introductions in general, but okay. Naruto corrected. And why I am here is because everyone is always talking about the Senju clan and how great they are. I want to see if it's true. I figure you will be a good test for me. And also, Lee said, but trailed off when his gaze turns to Ino, and a blush appears on his face. Ino groans uncomfortably when she noticed Lee staring at her. "Oh, Ino-san. I love you," Lee declared shamelessly. "Oh wow, shots fired," Shikamaru thought, as he was laughing in his head. Ino was practically screaming and crying in her head. It was bad enough that she and Naruto never said that they love each other yet, but now some random weirdo has done it first. How unfair life is. But she realized that she shouldn't be rude. Something like this should be taken as a compliment, so it should be treated as such. "Oh god, ha Lee, was it? Look, I'm very flattered that you like me and all, but you can't just say, 'I love you' to someone you just met. And like I told you before, Naruto-kun is my boyfriend." Ino was trying very hard to be nice, and was fighting the urge to criticize Lee's hair, fashion style and bushy eyebrows in the process. "You are an angel, sent from heaven." "Mwah," Lee said, as he somehow blinks and blew a heart-shaped love from his eye, towards Ino, which made the Yamanaka cried out in horror. "No!" Ino cried out, as she dramatically dodges the surprisingly solid heart. "Holy crap, that's solid. Is this some sort of genjutsu?" Choji asked. "If it is, then why can't we break it?" Shikamaru stated, as he tried to dispel the illusion, but to no avail. "That's a good move, but let us see you dodge this." "Mwah, mwah, mwah, mwah," Lee said, as he blinks and blew multiple hearts from his eyes, towards the Yamanaka. "By the Sage of the Six Paths," Ino yelled out, as she dodges heart after heart after heart. As the last heart was so close to hitting her, she uses her natural flexibility to bend herself backwards, leaving her head to almost touch the floor. Luckily her actions saved her, as the heart was able to flew above her and hit the pillar behind her. "That was too close," Ino said, as she stood back up, panting. "You don't have to be so overdramatic, Ino-chan," Naruto said, trying his best to not laugh at his girlfriend's hilarious predicament. "Easy for you to say, all the girls who like you are good-looking," Ino stated with a deadpan look. "Touché, milady. Alright, as entertaining as this been, Lee, we really should be going. The exam is about to start soon," Naruto informed calmly. "This will only take a minute. Unless you are too scared." Lee was trying to bait the blonde, but was failing miserably due to his maturity. "What do I look like, 5 to you?" Naruto asked with a deadpan look. "Naruto," Sasuke suddenly called out. "I'll fight him," he offered. "But Sasuke-kun, Naruto-kun is right. The exam is about to start soon," Hinata reminded. "Like he said, this will only take a minute. Besides, I'm curious to see what he can do," Sasuke said with a confident smirk. Bring it on, Sasuke-san," Lee said, as he prepares himself for battle. "Excellent. He may not be Naruto-san, but Sasuke-san is also a Rookie of the Year. A matchup against him can still prove my point. I will draw him out and get him to reveal his Tekuhike, and I will prove myself to you, Guy-sensei," Lee thought. "Sigh, I'll give you 5 minutes. Any longer and I'll stop the fight," Naruto informed with a serious tone. I'll only need 1, Sasuke said, as he then charged towards Lee. "Here he comes. Forgive me, Guy-sensei. I know it is forbidden, but I may have to break the rules and use that jutsu," Lee thought. Lee disappeared in a blur, and reappear above Sasuke. "Leaf Hurricane," Lee yelled out, as he performs a powerful spin kick. Sasuke managed to dodge, but Lee continues his relentless assault. "Shit! I'm not moving fast enough. I gotta block him," Sasuke thought, as he uses his arm to block the incoming kick to his face, but suddenly, Lee managed to get past his defense, and land a strong kick on the Uchiha's cheek, sending him flying. "Sasuke-kun!" Hinata yelled out worriedly. Sasuke then landed roughly on the ground. He immediately stood back up and wipes the blood from his mouth, as he gritted his teeth in frustration. What the hell was that? Sasuke thought, confused, since he knew he should have blocked that kick. Sasuke had his guard up, but that Lee guy went right through it. Ino thought, slightly amazed. Impressive. That wasn't Shunshin or any other space/time ninjutsu like mine. That was pure speed. Naruto thought, as he placed his fingers on his chin. Okay, either this guy is using some sort of ninjutsu to amplify his movements, or some genjutsu to hide his attacks. Nevertheless, this might be a good opportunity to test my new eyes again, Sasuke thought, as he stood back up and activates his 3-tomo Sharingan. So that is the Sharingan. I must make sure not to look into his eyes. Lee thought to himself. Genjutsu or ninjutsu, whatever magic he's using, I'll see it now. Sasuke thought, as he focuses his Sharingan on Lee's movements and charges forward. As he was about a foot away from the boy in green, to everyone's surprise, Sasuke was suddenly kicked in the jaw by Lee, sending him up high in the air. Holy shit! Shikamaru thought in surprise, since that kick came out of nowhere. Sasuke managed to land on his feet, but was now holding his jaw in pain. You see, my Tekuhike is not ninjutsu or genjutsu. Lee said, as he then charges forward in an incredible display of speed. Lee and Sasuke are now locked in a fast-paced hand-to-hand combat. Even with the power to see through and predict his enemy's attacks, Lee's movement are still too fast against Sasuke's reaction time. You get it now? I am only using taijutsu. That means there are no tricks for you to copy, Sasuke-san. Lee said, as he then disappears and reappear behind Sasuke. It is just straight-up martial arts, nothing more. Lee informed. Why you, Sasuke angrily said, as he tries to swing a backhand at the boy in green, but he immediately jumped away. I know your Tekuhike. So, forget it. It will not work, not on me. I know you can see through your opponent's jutsu. That Sharingan gives you the ability to read their chakra and decipher their hand seals and movements. You can guess what your opponent is going to do, almost before they know themselves. Lee said, causing Sasuke to narrow his eyes. But the problem is, taijutsu is a little bit different. Lee informed. Right. So what's your point? Sasuke asked. I do not try to hide or disguise my moves. I do not have to. Even if you can read them, you still cannot stop them. You are too slow. Lee mocked. Sasuke growls at the comment. Your eyes may be quick enough to stay one step ahead of me, but if your body cannot keep up, what good does it do you? Lee continues to mock. This made Sasuke growled again. You know what? Here is what I believe. There are two different kinds of ninja, those like you who are born with talent, and do not have to work at it. That was the tipping point for the Uchiha. People always assume that he never had to work hard his entire life, just because he was slightly talented. But only a few knew that he has been training his ass off, just so he can be as good as Itachi and Naruto. You son of bitch! Sasuke said, as he charges forward, trying to land a strong punch on the ignorant boy in green. And those like me, the ones who have to train every day of our lives. Lee finished, which made Sasuke grit his teeth even more. Shut up! Sasuke yelled, as he tries to land a strong punch, but fatally missed. Fact is, your Sharingan is the worst match for my extreme taijutsu. And here is what I mean. Lee yelled out, as he was practically focusing his chakra into his leg. Shit! Sasuke thought. Lee then kicks Sasuke in the jaw once more, sending him up high in the air. Lee then proceeded to crouch down on all fours and disappear in a blur of speed, and later reappearing behind Sasuke, midair. Dancing leaf shadow, Sasuke said, as he recognizes one of Konoha's greatest taijutsu tekwakiks. Good eye, now I will prove my point. Lee said, as he undid the bandages on his arms. That hard work beats natural talent, Lee said with a serious tone. Damn it, what's he gonna do? Sasuke thought, slightly worried. You're finished, Lee declared. As Lee was about to use his ultimate Tekuhike on the Uchiha, his eyes widened when he felt something metallic wrapping around his waist. It was some sort of chain, but it was made of chakra. He looked down and saw that the chakra chain was coming from Naruto's sleeve. Your 5 minutes are up, Naruto coldly said, as he forcefully pulled Lee down by the chakra chain and slamming him into the ground, making a small crater. And you talk too much, Naruto finished, as he recalled the chakra chain back into his sleeve. Hinata managed to catch Sasuke before he hits the ground. Ino was truly surprised to see the chakra chain that manifested from her boyfriend's wrist. She remembered that Naruto once mentioned them to her, when he was reading the scrolls that he got from the Uzumaki clan's masked storage temple. Ino then activates her mind link with Naruto to ask him about it, in private. So are those the Uzumaki clan's adamantine sealing chains you told me about? Yeah, but so far I can only produce them through my wrists. Apparently, only an Uzumaki with special chakra like my mum can produce these chains. And since I share her blood, I can as well. But according to Sarutobi-sensei, my mum can produce up to 6 chains from her back. Is that bad? Well, since my dad's genes is more dominant in me, I can only produce 2 chains. 1 from each wrist. Still, pretty cool though, Naruto-kun. I know how hard you had to train, just to make 1 stupid chain. Whoa, did I just made a rhyme? Haha, I think you did. Thanks, Ino-chan. Ino then breaks the mind link, when suddenly from a burst of smoke, a large red turtle appeared. Alright. That's enough. Lee, the turtle yelled out. Yes, sir. Lee got up from the crater, and was now kneeling before the turtle. Everyone was a little surprised to see a talking turtle, and was even more surprised to see the turtle scolding the boy in green. Who is that turtle? Ino asked, with a raised eyebrow. I'll do you one better, what is that turtle? Shikamaru added in. I'll do you one better, why is that turtle? Choji added in. Ino and Shikamaru simply stare at Choji with a deadpan look, after he asked that dumb question. Sasuke was now sitting down on the ground, as Hinata was applying some of her medical ointment on his bruised face and jaw, to ease some of his pain. Does it still hurt, Sasuke-kun? Hinata asked with worry. Just my pride. But thanks, Hinata. I'm alright, Sasuke said. Thank goodness, Hinata said with a smile, as she sighs in relief. With Rock Lee and the red turtle. Lee was now bowing his head in shame, before the grumpy turtle. You were watching us the whole time? Lee asked hesitantly. Of course. That last Tekuhike is forbidden. You know that. The turtle continues to scold the bushy brow boy. I am so sorry. I did not mean to. Lee said as his gaze was still on the floor, but when he looked up, he saw the turtle giving him a death glare, which terrified the bushy brow boy. I was not planning to use a forbidden jutsu. It is just, I was in the middle of a fight, and I mean, you understand. You are a disgrace. The turtle yelled, causing Lee to groan. You think you'll get away with a bunch of lame excuses like that? A shinobi never reveals his Tekuhike unless it's absolutely necessary. It's such a basic rule, you should know it by now. The turtle scolded. Forgive me, sir. Lee apologized. With Sasuke and Naruto. Seriously, how could I lose to that? Sasuke asked in disbelief, that he could lose to someone so odd. It was completely humiliating, but at least he gained some insight on this potential threat of the exam. Well, like someone I recently met once told me, appearances can be deceiving. Naruto said, as he recalled what Fu said to him and his fellow Jinchurikis when they met. Even the smallest cub has the biggest bite. Back to Lee and the turtle. Are you prepared to take the punishment for your actions? The turtle asked. Yes, sir. Lee answered hesitantly. Alright then. Please come out, Guy-sensei. The turtle called. And from a burst of smoke, standing on top on the turtle's shell, is practically an older version of Lee. The difference was, he was wearing an open jonin vest, no bandages on his arms, and hell, he has bushier eyebrows. What's shaken? How you doing, everybody? Life treating you good? The adult clone Lee, known as Guy, enthusiastically said, as he was standing in a very questionable pose. Team 10 and 7 were completely horrified at his appearance. By the Sage of the Six Paths. There's two of them. Naruto thought in shock. He's got the biggest eyebrows yet. They're almost alive. Ino thought, slightly grossed out. Those things are like fat caterpillars. Shikamaru thought, tilting his head to the side, to make sure what he is seeing is real. Hello ladies, Guy said, as he gave Ino and Hinata his signature, nice guy pose, with the sparkling teeth at the end. Ino and Hinata were in a state of shock. While the Hyuga was feeling slightly uncomfortable, the Yamanaka was hiding behind Naruto's back. Terrified for her life. Either Lee is a younger clone of this guy, or there is some sort of club for green spandex wearing enthusiast. Naruto wonders out loud. And I guess the dress code is, the spandex, soup bowl haircut and super bushy eyebrows. Sasuke chimed in with a deadpan look. Hearing this, enraged the bushy brow boy, as he had a large tick mark on his head, after listening to such unyouthful comments. Hey! Do not insult Guy-sensei. He is one of the greatest men in the entire world. Lee yelled out, as he clutches his fist in anger, trying to defend his original sensei. Well, excuse me for not noticing his greatness. I was too busy watching him crawl out from underneath a turtle. Naruto yelled back. He did not crawl out. Lee corrected. Give it a rest, Lee, Guy said, as he tried to calm his clone student down. Yes, sir. Lee said, still slightly annoyed. But what happened next was a very questionable teaching method from the older Lee. Now, for your punishment, Guy said, as he flexed his fist and pulled it back. You little fool. Guy then punches Lee in the face, sending the bushy brow boy flying to the ground. Teams 10 and 7 were shocked at the so-called punishment by the green-wearing jonin. If Lee wasn't a ninja, I think most would consider that as child abuse. Oh wow, that's a little harsh. Choji thought. As Lee was laying on the ground, Guy approached his fallen student, with a sad look in his eyes. I'm sorry, Lee. But it is for your own good. Guy said sadly, as he kneeled down before his kneeling student. Sensei. Oh Lee, Guy was now crying with his tears of youth. Oh Guy-sensei, I'm so sorry. Lee was now crying too, with his own youthful tears. Then suddenly, the bushy brow pair are now standing on a beach, with a beautiful orange sunset behind them. And somehow, there is music in the background as well. Alright, it's over. You don't need to say anymore. Guy ensured. Oh Guy-sensei. Lee yelled out, as got up and hugged his sensei, in a tight embrace. Oh Lee. Guy-sensei. Lee. Guy-sensei. Lee. Guy-sensei. They both cried out with passion, as a large wave of water hits the rocky cliffs of their suspiciously outdoor environment. What the fuck is going on? Naruto yelled out. Why am I seeing them on a beach? Ino cried out. Is this some sort of genjutsu? Sasuke asked in horror. If it is, we can't break it. Choji cried out. Where is that music coming from? Shikamaru yelled out. The green-wearing duo continued their passionate embrace, as they let out their tears of youth. Even the talking turtle was crying at the back, as well. "It's okay. It's okay," Guy said, as he patted Lee on the back. "I am sorry, sensei." Lee continues to apologize. Despite everyone's horror, Hinata was actually giggling at the scene. "Teehee, it is actually kinda sweet," Hinata said as she giggled. "Huh," everyone says, as they look at her with a deadpan look, which made her turn red from embarrassment. "Never mind," Hinata said, as she looked away, to cover her embarrassed blush. But luckily Naruto could see her point of view, and sympathized with the Hyuga girl. No, it's okay. I mean, you're right Hinata, it is kinda sweet. Just, don't do it in public," Naruto said, with a sweat drop. "Agreed," everyone else said. The green-wearing duo finally broke their passionate hug, as Guy places a reassuring hand on Lee's shoulder. "You're just caught in between. You're too old to be called a boy, and not yet quite a man," Guy said, as he forgave his mini-me. "You are so good to me, Guy-sensei," Lee cried out. "Now take off," Guy said, as he pointed his finger in the distance. "I want you to give me 100 laps around the practice field. Show me what you got," Guy ordered. "Yes, sir." "No problem," Lee instantly agreed, with no hesitation. "Run into the setting sun. Run and suffer. But don't mess up your hair. Let us go," Guy ordered. "Right," Lee once agreed without question. As Guy and Lee were blissfully walking away, Teams 10 and 7 were still traumatized at what they had just witnessed. Luckily Ino was able to snap herself back to reality, and called out to the green-wearing duo. Whoa, wait a minute. What about the Chunin exams? There's no time to do 100 laps," Ino yelled out. Despite the given opportunity of Lee being out of the exam, is quite beneficial for her team, as in less competition, it felt wrong to say nothing, and let him waste his time. Besides, it wouldn't be fair to his teammates. "Damn it, Naruto. Why do you always tell her to do the right thing?" Guy then turns around after hearing Ino's reminder, and felt embarrassed. Oh right, I forgot about that," Guy said as he rubbed the back of his sheepishly, cough, "Lee, you not only disobeyed the rule against fighting, but you disrupted the Chunin exams. I think that warrants a slightly more severe punishment, don't you?" Guy asked. "Yes, sir," Lee answered. This made the Yamanaka girl slightly nervous. What's worse than getting punched in the face, and doing 100 laps? "You're not gonna kill him, are you?" Ino hesitantly asked. "Nonsense, girl. Let's say 500 laps. How does that sound?" Guy asked his student. "Outstanding, sir," Lee agreed with passion. This made the Yamanaka girl's sweat dropped. Are these two even human? She then leans in to whisper into Naruto's ear. "Naruto-kun, did Lord Third ever train you like that?" she asked. "Nope. This is worst," Naruto answered. Guy then turns his attention to the 6 genins before him. Quite an interesting bunch, he thought. There is a Senju, an Uchiha, a Hyuga, a Yamanaka, a Nara and an Akimichi. This must be Asuma's and Kakashi's team. I'll check them out. Especially Lord Third's apprentice. He must be very strong, Guy thought, as focuses his gaze on Naruto. Tell me, how is Kakashi and Asuma doing? Guy asked the 2 genin teams. Probably banging their girlfriends, how you doing? Naruto thought, as he couldn't help but be a smartass. You know our senseis? Ino asked. Well, Asuma and I are good friends. But Kakashi on the other hand, he. Well, people say, he and I are eternal rivals. Guy claimed with toothy grin. You're bluffing, Naruto said. There is no way, Sasuke added. How dare you? If Guy-sensei says it's true, then. Lee yelled out for their disbelief, as he clutches his fist forward and had a tick mark on his head, but he was interrupted by Guy. Let it slide, Lee. A ninja's actions always speak louder than words. Guy said. Guy then disappeared in a blink of an eye, and reappeared behind the two teams. Where did he? Shikamaru asked on everyone's behalf, but their eyes widened when they heard Guy's voice behind them. My record is 50 wins, and 49 losses. Which is one better than his, by the way. Guy boasted with a smirk. Whoa! Choji said, as he was both impressed by Guy's speed and his victory claim. What? Sasuke asked in disbelief, that his sensei would lose to a guy like him. That's interesting. Not many can defeat Kakashi Naisen. Naruto said. You are absolutely right, young Senju. The fact is, I'm stronger than your Naisen. And faster. Much faster. Guy boasted, as he gave them a thumbs up and sparkling smile. His speed is incredible, he's definitely faster than Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke thought. He's even faster than I date. That's actually impressive, Shikamaru thought. You see? Guy-sensei is the best there is. Lee yelled out for his sensei's greatness. Guy then turned his attention to Sasuke, as he gave the Uchiha a thumbs up. I'm sorry for the trouble Lee caused you. Look into my eyes and accept my sincere apology. Also notice my handsome, manly features. Guy said with his sparkling grin, as he couldn't resist adding the last sentence. He claims he's better than Kakashi-sensei, could that be true? Arg! I don't think he's making this up. Sasuke thought in frustration. Guy then turns his attention to Lee. Lee, you should accompany these fine young ninjas to the classroom, right now. Guy ordered. Yes, sensei, Lee responded, as he rolled back the bandages around his arms. As he was doing that, Naruto's eyes widened when he saw all the bruises and scars on the bushy-brow boy's hands. They were the physical proof of his extreme training. Naruto couldn't help but respect Lee even more for that. If it wasn't Kurama's rapid healing abilities, Naruto would probably have the same set of hands as his. Remember to give it your best. Good luck to you all, and farewell. Guy said, as he and the turtle disappeared in a puff of smoke. As the six genins were still confused after their encounter with green-wearing Jonin, Lee then approaches them, to explain his true intention. Sasuke-san, Naruto-san. I have not been totally honest with you both. I said I wanted to test my skills, and that is true enough. But you are not really the ones I wanted to test them against. Lee said, gaining a few raised eyebrows from the six genins, so he continues. I may not be the best genin here, but there is a top ninja who is considered to be the ultimate prodigy. And he is on my team. Lee finished his explanation, but Hinata knew exactly who he meant. Niji Naisen. Hinata said, while looking down. Yes, Hinata-san. I came here to defeat him. You were just practice, Sasuke-san, Lee said, but then his tone turned serious. Now you are my target. And I will crush you. Lee vowed. This made the Uchiha narrowed his eyes at the bold threat. There you have it. Considered yourself warned. Lee said, as he jumped up to the balcony and ran toward the examination room. Seeing his friend's frustration, Naruto asked. Are you alright, Sasuke? No, even with my Sharingan, I still can't compete with his speed. If I can't beat a guy like that, what chances do I have against Itachi? Sasuke said bitterly. Everyone has their own strengths, Sasuke. When I saw Lee's hands, I knew that his taijutsu is above any of us. So may I offer you a piece of advice, brother? Naruto asked. What is it? If an opponent is proven to be stronger and faster, you must be smarter. Take your time, instead of charging head-on. Use your own strengths, instead of matching theirs. And strike when the opportunity presents itself. Naruto advised. I see. And for the record, Sasuke, Lee is wrong about you. Naruto said, which made the Uchiha wonder what he meant. You do train as hard as anyone else. Just because you have talent, that doesn't mean you didn't have to work on it. Everyone, no matter how talented they are, has to train their asses off, just to get to where they are now. So don't believe anything he said, okay? Naruto ensured. Yeah, thanks, Naruto. Sasuke said, as he gave Naruto a thankful smile. Sasuke then led Hinata and Choji to the examination room, but not before meeting with Kakashi first, while Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru stayed behind, when Naruto felt Asuma's chakra signature approaching them. Probably wanted to lead his Genin team to the examination room himself. So a quick recap, our known competition, are 3 foreign Jinchurikis and their teammates, Team 7, Lee and his team. And I assume Team 8 will be there as well. Am I missing anything? Shikamaru asked. So far, nothing. But don't worry, Shika. We just need to get past the first 2 tests. If we perform adequately enough on the 3rd test, win or lose, we'll be Chunins in no time. Naruto said excitedly, as he pumped his fist in the air. Yeah, let's kick some ice. Ino added in, as she pumped her own fist in the air. Ugh, both Naruto and Shikamaru groaned at the bad ice pun. What? I'm joining in. Ino pouted in annoyance. Aw, you are so cute, Ino-chan. Naruto teased, as he kissed her pouted cheek. I hate you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this what if and want to see next part of it, comment down below and let me know. Also share this video with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.